Great. So you should see a little box pop up and just go ahead and hit OK to acknowledge that. Like I mentioned, this class will be recorded and we will be able to share the recording afterwards with all of the registered folks today, and you'll be able to watch this recording afterwards at your leisure. I just want to also highlight and say thank you to those who have supported this class through a donation. We really appreciate all of the support that we are given and provided by our community members. So I just want to highlight those who were able to support us as they registered. And to share a little bit about Keiro before we get into today's topic, you may be familiar with Keiro, but our mission at Keiro is to enhance the quality of senior life in our community. And how we do this is evolving, and we are able to do this through our various programs and priority areas that include different services, educational classes, and conferences. And we categorize our programs as falling under programs for older adults. Like I mentioned, classes like this, where we provide some resources for the community. We also have programs for caregivers, which include our upcoming caregiver conference, as well as a number of resources on our website. And Cato also has programs for the community where we work with other community organizations in partnership. We have our NSN Nikkei Senior Network program, as well as our grants program, where we extend a lot of our resources and support into the community. So whether we're reaching you today just through the classes, we hope there are other ways that we can get involved with you or organizations that you are a part of. Okay, and at this time, I do want to be able to call attention to some poll questions that we have for today. So I will need to launch, well, one moment. So the first poll question I have is going to be a pre-class question I want to ask you all. And you may recognize this class or this poll from the registration question. So it's simply asking, how confident are you in your ability to navigate public transportation right now before the class has started? So please take some time to look over the options. We have a range from highly confident to highly unconfident. And please don't worry if you are feeling a little bit unconfident today, because that's the purpose of the class, to share some resources with you all about how to navigate public transportation. And yeah, just to be able to hear from Metro and see what the options are for you out there. So I'll let the poll go for just a moment longer, see if everyone is able to participate. And we have a good, I think, variety of different responses here. So I'm sharing some of the results of the poll. And I think we have one individual who is highly confident in their ability to navigate public transportation. That's great. And I think we have a handful of other folks who are ranging anywhere from somewhat confident to highly unconfident. So Lily, I think we have a good understanding of who's in the audience today. And based on this, I think we'll be able to hopefully have you feeling more well-resourced by the end of this class, depending on how you responded to this poll. And I do have one more quick poll question we want to do before the class as well. And this will allow our presenter today to get a better feel for who's in the audience. So I'm going to launch actually one of two upcoming polls. So the first question in this next poll is going to be, have you been on public transit in the last 6 months? It's a yes or no question. And then another question we want to ask is, do you have a Metro senior tap card? And if you do, great. If you don't have one, but you're interested, or if you don't have one and you don't know what it is, I think that's even better information for us to kind of take away here. So we'll let this one go for a little bit longer just to get some results. And then we'll be able to share the results with everyone. And then Lily, you'll have some insight into who we have in the audience today as well. So there are two questions for this poll, if you can submit those. Okay, I think hopefully that's given everyone enough time to answer the poll. We'll go ahead and share the results here. And so I think there's a good mix again here, right, Lily? We have 5 of the respondents saying they have taken public transportation and 10 who have not. So maybe this is an opportunity for them to learn more about it. And then for the senior tap card, I think it's the same, maybe different people, but 5 people are saying that they do have the senior tap card, while 10 of our program participants today do not. And maybe they can learn more about that today. Okay, and I think so this will be the last poll question before we get on to the the actual presentation, and I do want to just use this to help Lily again better understand who's in our audience. And this is for trip planning. How do you gather information to go on a trip? So this doesn't necessarily mean, just using Metro, but how do you navigate yourself to go to wherever you're trying to go. And we have a few options listed here, whether it's Google Maps, Metro resources or customer information, smartphone apps, or maps and schedules, or anything else that may fall under other. And if you have an other option, please feel free to type that in the chat today.
Maybe I have no idea could be the other option.
That's very good. That's true. Okay, so we have a few more options here that people are looking through. So we'll let this poll go for just a few more moments, maybe 10 more seconds, where we have people still submitting some answers. So be happy to close this poll in just a little bit and then be able to share this, and then we'll go ahead and get started with the class. So we'll do this and we'll share the results here. So I think we have a good mix of people saying they use Google Maps or smartphone apps. And then one person is saying that they have called Metro customer information, so that might be good information to know. And then others use other forms of maps or schedules that maybe Metro resources, maybe other that are included. And then two others. So if you do say other, please let us know what those other resources are. Okay, and with that, and with us kind of better understanding who's in the room and who's in the audience today, I do want to use this opportunity to introduce our speaker for today's program. And today we have Lilly Ortiz, who is the manager with rail safety and mobility programs at LA Metro. And she is responsible for overseeing Metro's programs for older adults called the On the Move Riders Program. This program is special to us. I think we've had a couple of chances to work with you all. And this program works to provide older adults with knowledge and confidence to travel on public transportation, which is exactly what we're trying to do today. So with that, I just want to say thank you, Lily, for being our presenter for today. And what I want to do is to be able to stop sharing my screen and allow you to share your screen. And please join me in welcoming Lily to present for today.
Thank you so much. And thank you everyone for taking the time to do the poll questions. It is really quite helpful for me as a presenter to know a little bit about the people I'm speaking to. Oftentimes when we are out in the community, we aren't able to know that about folks. Can you see my screen okay? Can I get a thumbs up? Yes, very good. My name is Lilly Ortiz, and I have my colleague here today, Zane Delgado. He'll be dropping some links in the chat box. If you have any questions, he'll be in there as well. So thank you so much for having us, Keiro. We love speaking with you and the folks that you serve. I think our missions align very much. We want to work to empower older adults to learn how to use the buses and the trains. We're going to cover several topics today. We're going to talk about the benefits of public transportation. I'll tell you a little bit more about our On the Move Riders program. We'll get into learning what is a senior card, how to load your tap card, and then I want to do some trip planning with you. One of the questions asks, where do you get your information? And so I want to take some time to do a little trip planning with you all. And then we're going to talk about accessibility and give you some rider tips. So, just off the bat, if you wouldn't mind dropping in the chat some of the benefits that you think come from utilizing or learning how to use public transportation. Oftentimes, as we age, our circle of travel gets smaller. And so, taking the time to learn this new skill and getting out and staying connected it is really important. So, if you could please drop those in the chat and let me know what are some of the benefits that you can think of using public transportation. Here are some of the ones that we have found. It's a great way to reduce stress, the stress of driving, especially here in our region with so much traffic and uh, uh, everybody rushing. It can be very stressful as a driver. You have that enhanced freedom when you can ride on public transportation and flexibility. You can get out and ride wherever it is that you'd like to go. Increase mobility and independence. It's a great cost savings when you compare the cost of riding on public transportation versus using your car. There are health benefits. You're out, you're walking, you're in the community, you're connecting with other people. That social interaction that you have when you're in the community is so very, very valuable for all of us, but especially for older adults. The environmental benefits are many. Instead of taking your car, why not take a bus or a train if it's going where you want to go? Public transportation can really help support folks who want to age in their homes. Many of us live here in Los Angeles and are very close to a bus stop, a train stop, and so we do have access to public transportation. And then having uh, access to services is another thing that is a benefit of using public transportation. I'm gonna check the don't need to drive or look for parking. Yes, Yuki, that's absolutely right. That's a big one, I feel like. Um, I know there are certain parts of town that I prefer to take the bus or the train, especially downtown Los Angeles. Um, the one-way streets always throw me off and finding parking can be very challenging. Let me tell you a little bit more about our program. Um, we work to empower seniors with the knowledge and practice to ride on public transportation, and we do that in a number of ways. We provide workshops. We come out to the community, senior centers, community centers, libraries, churches, wherever older adults are. We want to come out and talk to folks about how to use public transportation. Our team also provides transit orientation tours to really give people that hands-on practice using public transportation. We participate in and host events throughout the county. And then perhaps the signature part of our program are our clubs. We work with volunteers who work one-on-one or in a group to orient people to using public transportation. Our travel clubs are led by volunteers. They're other older adults, so it's peer-to-peer travel that folks are doing. They're traveling in a group. Our clubs travel monthly. The leaders of our clubs are called travel buddies, and we actually have a travel buddy here in our audience. Yuki Shirtcliffe is one of our buddies for the city of Burbank, and she travels monthly with her club um, to all sorts of fun destinations all over LA County. So if you are interested in joining a club or becoming a volunteer, maybe you have some knowledge that you'd like to share with the older adults in your community, perhaps consider um, joining us and learning how you can get connected. For their work, our volunteers receive a free Easy Transit Pass. An Easy Transit Pass is kind of like a universal monthly pass in that many agencies throughout the county will accept this pass. So it's a little incentive that we give to our volunteers. Training is provided by Metro. It is a 2-day training that we do, and then we provide ongoing training quarterly throughout the year. We have lots of fun. It's a great way to get connected and make new friends and see the sights. So if you're, again, if you're interested, please I'll make sure to share my contact information at the close of this presentation. You can reach out to me and I'd be happy to help.
We are part of Metro's On the Move Riders Program travel clubs.
Travel clubs are led by volunteers like me.
And me. Our goal is to encourage other older adults to travel on public transportation. That includes buses and trains.
And we help show you how.
We help older adults familiarize themselves with local and regional transportation systems. We travel together to places like shopping centers, restaurants, museums, local events, and even doctor appointments.
Before I joined On the Move Riders Program travel clubs,
I was not confident in taking public transportation on my own.
But now I can take it anywhere, and I love it.
Riding with the travel clubs gives me valuable experience to maintain my independence.
I don't need to rely on someone to take me, and it's a great alternative to driving.
I can go on my own or with friends.
To learn more about your local travel club, visit metro.net/on the move.
Sorry, we just sort of jumped into that video, but that highlighted our wonderful travel buddies and our clubs. I feel like they are the best salespeople for our program and for our work. So if you are so inclined and inspired to join us, we welcome you to learn more. So any questions so far out there, Makoto?
We have a little bit of a specific question, but are you familiar with the parking situation at Atlantic Station? And if not, we can always share some resources afterwards.
Yeah, we can definitely pop some information in the chat about parking. I'll circle back and hopefully we'll have some time to talk about parking. But first, I'd like to share more about what is a tap card. I saw that a few people have a tap card. Essentially, a tap card is a reloadable, reusable card. It is like a gift card. You load money onto this card and you use it to pay for transit. So the orange card that you see on the screen is a reduced fare senior tap card. So anyone with this card automatically receives the reduced fare. And when you're riding on Metro, that's 35 cents or 75 cents to ride on our buses and trains. And there are 27 different agencies that accept this card throughout LA County. This blue card that you see on the right is our general fare tap card. These cards can be purchased at all of our rail stations. They cost $2, but when you load money onto this card, you pay full price, $1.75. So it is a significant savings when you take the time to apply for a reduced fare senior tap card. So you'll see on the map all of the different transit agencies that accept tap. Big Blue Bus, Culver City Bus, Gardena Bus, Carson, Torrance Transit, Foothill Transit, Pasadena Transit. So many buses, transit agencies throughout LA County accept your senior tap card. A lot of times people think, well, I don't live near Metro, I don't ride Metro, why do I need a Metro tap card? It is not a Metro tap card, it is a tap card for the region. So if you live in LA County, it's highly recommended that you take advantage of this tap card. So in order to apply, you must be 62 years or older. You can apply via mail. You can go online to tap2go.net, or you could visit one of our Metro customer centers. You complete an application. They do require a full face photo, similar to a passport type photo, and proof of age. You can mail that again, go online and upload all of that, or visit our customer centers. If you're here in the central part of Los Angeles, Union Station, beautiful Union Station has a customer center. If you come to one of our customer centers, you we have photo booths at all of our customer centers, and there's 6 all over the county. And you can pay $3 to get a photo taken, submit your application, show your ID at the window, and they will issue you a temporary card on the spot if you come to these customer centers, and within 15 to 20 working days, you'll receive your permanent card in the mail. Any questions about the tap cards out there?
Looks like we have one question immediately. Lily, it's can I use tap card in the Metrolink or using Metrolink?
Good question. Very good question. The senior tap card is not accepted by Metrolink. Metrolink is a commuter train. Metro, where I'm from, we have trains here in LA County, and they service LA County. Metrolink crosses county lines, so you can travel to San Bernardino County, Orange County, Riverside County, Ventura County, but unfortunately you cannot use your senior tap card to ride on Metrolink. However, Metrolink does have reduced fare for seniors, and it's definitely something to look into. It's if you visit metrolinktrains.com, they have a wonderful website where you can go in and plan a trip and see where you can go. Lots of great destinations along Metrolink. San Clemente is one that I have done that I really enjoy. It takes you down the coast, and it's a wonderful ride. So I highly recommend you check out metrolinktrains.com to learn more about where they go. All right, we're going to get back to Metro. So our system previously had day passes and monthly passes. We moved to a fare capping structure. What that means essentially is that as a senior with your senior tap card, you will never pay more than $2.50 in one day or $5 in 7 days. So keep that in mind. I mentioned earlier that if you're riding on Metro, our trains and our buses, you pay 35 cents during off-peak hours and 75 cents during peak hours. On Metro, you receive free 2-hour transfers with your senior tap card. So I have a little scenario here on the screen. We're talking about someone who is taking the bus to the doctor's office at 8 a.m. They board at 8 a.m. It is peak hour, and they pay 75 cents. They go to their doctor. A couple of hours later, they're done and they're heading to Target. They're going to pick up their prescription. They board their first bus to Target at 11 a.m. That's off-peak. They pay 35 cents. Because they have their senior tap card, they have to transfer, and it is free when they transfer to their train because it is taking place within that free 2-hour period. They go to Target, they pick up their prescription, they're heading home. At 3 p.m., they've just made the cutoff point. It's still off peak. They pay 35 cents. So for that day, they've only paid $1.45. They have not met their 1-day fare cap, but their senior tap card is going to keep track of how much they pay for the 7 days. So if we look at the next scenario here. So here's the $1.45 that I paid for my trip to the doctor and a Target. I didn't meet my day cap, but my tap card is keeping track of how much money I'm spending. On Tuesday, I ride and I only spend $1.40. On Wednesday, I spend another $1.40. Thursday, 75 cents. And then by Thursday, I've reached my 7-day cap of $5. So if I ride on Friday, it's free. On Saturday, it will be free. And on Sunday, it will be free. So this fare structure is very helpful in that as opposed to purchasing a 30-day pass up front and having to pay $20 at the start of the month, not knowing what's going to come during the month, I may ride only once or twice in a month. Maybe I go away for a month. You know, you never know what could happen. What happens with fare capping is that it allows you to pay as you go. So you don't have to pay that upfront cost that you do when you purchase a pass. Any questions about this?
Looks like we have a question from Tom, asking how accurate is the fare tracking for the senior tap card?
The fare tracking is very, very accurate. There is a chip in your card, and every time you board a bus or a train, your card is communicating with the fare box or validator and keeping track of the funds that you have on your card. So it is very accurate.
And a follow-up question, Lily, is it tracking on a Monday to Sunday schedule as you have shown, or is it running rolling 7-day timeline?
It is a rolling 7-day timeline.
Understood. Thank you.
All
And
right.
then we have another tap card question, if that's
Sure.
okay. From Nancy asking, Nancy hasn't used their tap card since COVID or pre-COVID. Is it still valid today?
Very good question, Nancy. Um, if you have a senior tap card, if you look at the front of it, it has an expiration date. So take a look at that if you have that. There is a telephone number on the back of your tap card. You can call that number and ask them, you know, has my card expired? I had some money on my card. Where is it? I'd like to use it. And they can answer any questions that you have about your tap card. The telephone number is 1-866-TAP-TO-GO. All right. So you've applied for your tap card. Now let's talk about how you can load your tap card. There are many different ways that you can load funds onto your tap card. If you're on a metro bus, you can ask the operator to load money onto your tap card. At the tap vending machines found at all of our rail stations, you can use those to load money onto your tap card. The number I mentioned on the back of the card, 1-866-TAP-TO-GO, takes you to TAP customer service. You can call there and ask them to load money onto your tap card, and you would give them your credit card. You can also use your credit card to load money onto your card online. TAP has an app, the TAP app. And using that app, you can load funds onto your tap card. You may find a tap vendor near you. If you called the tap customer service center and said, I live at 90012, can you please tell me where the nearest tap vendor is? They will provide you with a list of locations near you where you can go and talk to a person, a window of some sort. It might be at a Ralph's shopping center, a 7-Eleven. All LA County libraries are able to load funds onto your tap card. That's something that I learned recently, and I'd like to share that with everybody because I think we all might have an LA County library near us. All right. We know where we need to go to load. Here are the two things that you can load onto your tap card. We're going to start with stored value. Stored value is just a cash purse of money that remains on your tap card. It can be used on all the agencies. And remember, I showed you that map with the 27 different agencies. If you have stored value on your card, you can use your card on all of those agencies. Each time you tap at a fare box or turnstile, the appropriate fare is subtracted. So Metro's fare is 35 cents or 75 cents for seniors with a senior top card. Other agencies, like for example, Montebello Bus Lines, has a different fare, so it costs 50 cents to ride on their buses. So when you've got this tap card with your stored value loaded, you don't really have to worry about how much each agency has. You don't have to have exact change. You can just tap your card on the blue target when you board. The cash can be loaded onto your tap card in increments of $1 with a max of $60 per transaction. And the great thing about stored value is that the funds do not expire. They remain there. Okay. So that's one thing you can load. And this is what I recommend for folks to do if they don't ride very often. Put a small amount of stored value, $3, $5. If you're riding on Metro at 35 cents or 75 cents, it's going to take quite a while for you to exhaust your funds. So stored value is what you want to load. The other thing you can load are these non-Metro agency passes. Metro does not sell passes, but other agencies do. For example, Big Blue Bus in Santa Monica, they have passes. And if I lived in Santa Monica, if I worked in Santa Monica, it might make more sense for me to purchase a Santa Monica 30-day pass. If I didn't have a car and I work 7 days a week and I lived in Santa Monica, I probably save a lot of money if I purchased a monthly pass from them and I rode every single day. It's when I purchase a pass from an agency, it's good for unlimited rides on that agency. So for a 30-day pass, I could ride their service unlimited for those 30 days. These passes can be purchased at any time and stay on your card. They aren't valid until till your first tap. The bad thing about passes is that they do expire. So they have a time limit, and that after that first tap, it starts ticking down. So if it's a day pass, it's only good for 24 hours. If it's a 7-day pass, it's only good for 7 consecutive days. If it's a 30-day pass, it's only good for 30 days. Okay, so these are the two things that you can load onto your tap card. I'm going to blow your mind a little bit, but you could add both of these at one time. I mentioned let's say that I lived and worked in Santa Monica, and I rode the Big Blue Bus and I purchased a 30-day pass so that I could get to and from work during the week. Every time I boarded a Big Blue Bus and I tapped, it would pull from that pass when I tapped. But on the weekends, I like to go all over the place and I want to go to Culver City and I want to go to Montebello and Pasadena. So I will also load stored value onto the same tap card. And each time I board any other bus that isn't Big Blue Bus, it will pull from my stored value. Okay? Does that make sense to everyone? All right. Very good. So you've applied for your card, you've loaded your card. Now where do you tap? On some buses, you'll find these bus mobile validators. They're usually near the doors. You'll see the blue circle and you'll hold your card to the circle. And if you have money, it will make a positive sound. If you don't have money, it will make a negative sound, and you'll see an X and it'll say red and it'll tell you need to load money. If you're on one of our Metro buses, the blue tap circle is incorporated into the fare box. It's typically near the operator. If it makes a negative sound here on a Metro bus, you can ask the Metro operator to load money onto your card there immediately. If you're riding on our subways, the B and the D line, they have turnstiles throughout and they are locked and they do not unlock until you tap that target. And if you have money, then it will unlock the turnstile and you can enter. Other rail stations have these standalone validators. They're about waist high. They have the big blue target. They've got a little screen next to them. And when you tap your card on the blue target, it'll again make that positive sound. And that means that you have paid your fare. A lot of times people will say, I loaded money using the vending machine and then I boarded. If you do not tap at a validator or a turnstile, then you haven't paid your fare. You've loaded your card, but you haven't paid until you tap the target. Okay? Any questions about the tap card? Who's ready to get a tap card? Thank you, Gail and Victoria, Charlene. We're happy to share links to where you can apply for your senior tap card or your general fare tap card. All right, let's get into some trip planning. How am I doing on time, guys? 11:38. So you've applied for your card, you know how to load it, you know where you need to tap. Now, where are we going and where do we get this information? Trip planning is an important part of using public transportation. It gives you that sense of control because I don't know about you, but I don't want to get lost. I don't want to get lost. If I'm going to a new destination, I need to do my homework and plan my trip. Again, it's going to give me that control. I'll know what I'm doing. I can walk with confidence and I can have that sense of calm. So here are 3 things that you need to know in order to plan your trip. You need to know your starting location, be it an address or an intersection, your destination, address or location, intersection, and then the time of arrival or departure. Those are the 3 things you need to know before you start planning. There's many different tools out there, different ways that you can get information. 323 Go Metro or 323-466-3876 will get you to a person here at Metro. Imagine that. You can speak to a person by calling at this telephone number. They're very nice people. You can call and say, "Hi, my name's Yuki. This is my first time planning my trip. I'm starting here and I want to go there." And they will very nicely give you information. I always tell people if it's your first time, tell the people on the line, this is my first time. Can you please speak slowly? I'm going to be taking notes. I might ask you to repeat yourself. Thank you very much. So all important information to share with the operators so that you get the information that you need. They will give you an itinerary, tell you the time you need to be at your pickup point. If there are any transfers, they'll tell you where to go. They'll let you know how long your trip will take and how much it will cost. So I cannot speak, I recommend you call 323 Go Metro. Even though I often will use other means, it's always sometimes nice to have a backup. So if you're interested in learning about, is public transportation possible for me? You can call this number and get that information from folks. You can use Google Maps, be it on your smartphone or on your computer or your laptop. Many of you may already use Google Maps to get maybe driving directions to destinations. I'm going to walk you through a scenario in just a little bit. And then there are all sorts of apps out there. I mentioned earlier the TAP app. They have a function in their app that allows you to plan your trip as well. So it's a handy little app to have, but our cell phones come equipped usually with some sort of map app, and there's no need for you to download anything else. We also have maps and schedules, good old-fashioned maps and schedules here at Metro. If you're interested in learning about a route near you, you can call Metro and ask them to mail you some schedules, a system map, so that you can really get into that. Okay. Any questions so far? I'm going to move to my next little uh, uh, trip planning activity here. All right, we are going to plan a trip on Google Maps. Does anyone in the audience want to give us a intersection near them where they would like to plan their trip? We're going to the Keiro no Hi event that's happening on September 13th. That's going to be our destination. And we want to arrive by 9:30 in the morning. Does anyone want to see if transit from their place to the festival is possible? If not, I'll start my location from, I'll do the station nearest me. So bear with me here. I'm going to stop sharing for 1 sec. And I'm going to bring up my Google Maps. All righty. Here we go. So here we are. We've got our Google Maps here. I live near the Indiana E-line station. Hopefully it comes up. It is not coming up. Let me go with my starting point. I'm going to the Los Angeles Hompa Hongwanji Buddhist Temple. That's where the event's happening, right? And there it is. I've seen this building many times. So beautiful. So I've entered the address. I see the picture. That's where I want to go, because I want to have lots of fun. I'm going to hit this little button that says directions. And it's asking me to either choose best travel modes, driving, this little transit or this little train. I can walk, no thank you. I can bike, no thank you. I'm going to choose this little train and I'm going to put my starting address. Let's try this again. Indiana.
And Lily, if it's helpful, we have a couple suggestions in the chat.
Oh, really? Cool. That's even better. Tell me.
Someone is saying Torrance,
Mm-hmm.
but not very specific. So, but Crenshaw and Jefferson is maybe a cross street.
There we go. Crenshaw and Jefferson. Crenshaw Boulevard and Jefferson. This looks like it might be it. Let's see. All right, so here is, I'm going to zoom in here to see if I am at Crenshaw. Is it Jefferson, Crenshaw Boulevard, and Jefferson? Here we go. Boulevard. Let's try this one. That one seems better. Oh, 40 minutes. Interesting. So Crenshaw Boulevard and Jefferson going to Los Angeles. So you'll see there are some suggestions here. It's usually the fastest and then it'll take longer. You'll see the different choices here. I want to see, this 40 minutes sounds like a great idea. So it's going to require some walking. If I'm starting at Crenshaw Boulevard and Jefferson, it's telling me to walk to Expo and Crenshaw. And it's
Wait.
telling me,
Hey, Lily,
mm-hmm.
I think that's in Los Angeles. They're saying Torrance.
Oh, that was, someone said Torrance, but they didn't give
Okay.
exact locations. I think we're talking about Crenshaw and Jefferson in Los Angeles. So it
Jefferson
requires
Street. It's Jefferson Street.
It's Jefferson Street. In what city?
Torrance.
Okay.
Yeah,
Let's
that's what I
see
thought.
here. Okay, thank you. Let's see. Street. There it is. See it right there?
Yep.
There we go. All right. 1 hour and 38 minutes.
Yeah.
That's a a nice little trip there. Let's see what it entails. So here's Jefferson Street and Crenshaw Boulevard in Torrance. It's telling me to walk about 14 minutes or a half a mile to Torrance Boulevard and Crenshaw Boulevard, where I will board the number 1. And I want to look at the head sign of the bus. It should say Harbor Freeway Station. Or here's a suggestion. Why not drive to the Harbor Gateway Transit Center? There is a large parking lot there. It is free to park at Harbor Gateway unless there is a football game happening. Are we in football season? We are in football season, aren't we? So it would cost $3 to park at Harbor Gateway Transit Center if there is a football game happening at the stadium nearby. So just be advised. So let's say I drove to Harbor Gateway Transit Center. That is right across the street from the Home Depot. If you live in the general area, you know where the Home Depot is, and you've probably seen this huge parking lot when you're driving on the 110 freeway. From Harbor Gateway, I will board the Metro J line. This is one of our buses that runs in along the Diamond Lane, so it has minimum stops. I'll show you a map in just a second. But from Harbor Gateway, you're traveling to Figueroa and 7th Street. Not too bad, like 20 some minutes to get to Figueroa and 7th. From there, you would walk into the station and find the Metro E line. And you want to read the head sign, and it should say Atlantic Station. And it'll take you right to the Little Tokyo Arts District, where you would walk a short 0.3 miles or 7-minute walk from the Little Tokyo Arts District to the temple. What do you think? Is that a doable trip if you're traveling from Harbor Gateway Transit Center? Are you familiar with the Harbor Gateway Transit Center? Is that a yes, Nishi-sensei? And if you,
Yeah.
if you have a senior top card, it's only 35 cents. So it's definitely, I think, a consideration that you might want to take. But I don't know how many of you have used this trip planning tool before. Never, Mr. Nishi-sensei? All right, well, I highly recommend, Zane, will you put Google Maps in the chat box so that folks can check that out? But this is a great tool if you're interested in planning your trip. All right, let me go back to my PowerPoint because I want to tell you that I talked about some of the clubs that we have, and some of them are actually going to Keiro no Hi. Am I saying that right?
Yes.
Yes? Okay, good. Some of them are going to the event on September 13th. We have a Redondo Beach Club, a Weingart Club out of the city of Lakewood. We have a Hollywood club and a Santa Monica club, and all folks from this club will be traveling to the festival. If you are interested in connecting with anybody, I'm happy to connect you with our volunteers. Everyone is very nice. And you can travel with them and, get a little help, support on your journey to the festival. All right. All right, we're gonna keep going because I want to tell you about our system. So this is our metro rail system. We have 112 miles of rail, 4 light rail lines, 2 heavy rail lines, and 2 busways. I want to highlight this silver colored line. This is the J line. Here is the Harbor Gateway Transit Center. This is actually a bus that acts like a train. All of these colors, they're buses. There's 2 busways and 4 light rail lines. So the trip that we just planned began here at Harbor Gateway, and you traveled north to 7th Street and Figueroa, or 7th Street and Metro Center, and you connect to this E line, and the E line takes you to Little Tokyo Arts District. You could connect at Pico as well if you didn't want to connect at 7th Street and Metro. But you'll see that the J line has these station stops. So along the 110, it is going very fast. The stations are in between, very near the freeway. It goes through downtown and then to El Monte. So that's one of our busways. The other busway is this orange colored line to the north. If you follow here at North Hollywood here, the orange line goes from North Hollywood to Chatsworth. That's another busway. We put it on this map because they kind of act like trains in that they have their own dedicated busway and they have station stops. The 2 subways we have are the B and the D line. They both originate out of Union Station. They travel parallel, you see them if you follow it, until they reach Wilshire and Vermont, and then they separate. The red line, or the B line, goes from Union Station to North Hollywood. The purple line goes from Union Station to Wilshire and Western. And you see that little gray line there? That's an extension that's happening. It's under construction right now below Wilshire Boulevard. We talked about the E line that you connect to Little Tokyo Station. The E line travels from downtown Santa Monica east into downtown and then ends at East LA at Atlantic Station. The E line is considered a light rail line. The red and the purple are considered heavy rail lines. The red and the purple are subway trains. They're underground. They're very fast. They don't have to contend with pedestrians, motorists. If the red and the purple is going anywhere you want to go, I highly recommend you take the red or the purple line. The A line is the longest line in the world, country?
Lilly,
Zane?
longest light rail line in the world.
Longest light rail line in the world.
And
Thank
in
you,
the
Zane.
world, yes. Yeah.
The A line travels from APU, Citrus College, down through Pasadena, downtown, and all the way down to Long Beach. Can you imagine? 35 cents from end to end. What a great bargain. Do you see this little silver line or gray line here? That's the extension that's coming, the Foothill A-line extension. It will be 4 new stations opening on September 19th. Very, very exciting. The green line is here in the south. It travels from Norwalk to Redondo Beach. Not really Redondo Beach, but close to Redondo Beach. And then the K line. This isn't a completely updated map, so I must apologize. The K line, we opened up a new station that will eventually connect us to the LAX People Mover. New station is called the Metro Transit Center, LAX Metro Transit Center Station. It is open at this time. If you wanted to get to the airport at the station, there are shuttle buses at this time, but the People Mover is coming. If you get to the LAX Metro Transit Center when the People Mover is open, the People Mover will get you into LAX inside the airport to all of your terminals. So very, very exciting time for our system. Any questions about the rail system? 35 cents, 75 cents. Your tap card, you can use them on all these colors. 35 cents or 75 cents. Okay. I want to talk to you about accessibility and give you some tips. All of our buses and trains are accessible. If you're riding on a bus, you can ask the operator to lower the ramp or kneel or lower the bus. All of our buses are equipped with hydraulics that allow it to lower itself to the level of the sidewalk so that you can safely board. You can ask the operator to help you secure a seat. All of our buses have designated seating near the front of the bus for seniors and people with disabilities. I encourage people to sit in the front near the operator, especially if it's the first time riding. Always a good idea to sit near the operator so that you can communicate with folks. Safety is a concern for everyone. We hear about folks' concerns about riding on Metro, but I want to let you know that we are committed to making our system safe to help keep our employees and our riders safe. We have a number of teams that ride on the system. You may see blue shirts, TAP blue shirts, and they're typically there to help with any issues you might be having with your tap card. You can find them near the validators, near ticket vending machines, and they're helping to get you load your cards with fare. You'll also may find our Metro ambassadors. They wear these bright green shirts, and they're there to answer any questions that you might have, any safety issues that you might have. You want to come to them. And we have our home teams. As you know, our region is experiencing challenging times as it relates to folks who are unhoused. And this team is there to help connect people who are unhoused, connect to resources. We work with contracted security, law enforcement, and we have our Metro Transit security officers who are also on the system. Some quick tips. Whenever you're riding on public transportation, you want to know your route, right? We talked about trip planning. Ride with a friend if you can. Join one of our clubs. There's safety in numbers, and you want to be aware of your surroundings. You want to look, listen, watch. If you hear activity happening on a bus or a train, move away. And if need be, get off and wait for the next bus or train. You want to keep your belongings close to you. And always, if you see something, you want to say something. There are some telephone numbers here that I recommend people put onto their phone. Something that I do and that I have on my phone is the Metro Transit Watch app. Zane, if you could put a link to that app in the chat box, it is a way for you to report things inconspicuously on your phone. It's very user-friendly. You can upload pictures. You can report all sorts of things. It doesn't have to be, it could be an elevator that needs attention. If you feel unsafe, if you see something that you know is not right and you want to share that with Metro, you can always do that using the Transit Watch app. And always, in case of an emergency, we encourage you to call 911. Any questions? I know I'm coming to the end of my time, but I wanted to invite you to 2 events that we're hosting. I don't know where you all are, but if we're near you, please come visit us. We're hosting 2 events in West Hollywood on October 26th. our older adult transportation pop-up. It is a traveling roadshow of public transportation for seniors. So we get more in depth into the topics that we've talked about today, and we bring resources with us. So if you're in West Hollywood and you're available on October 26th, join us. We'll also be in Southgate, same event on September 26th. So if you're familiar with the Margaret Travis Senior Center, please join us. We're looking forward to connecting with you, helping you. Zane and I and the team are always excited to meet new folks. And here you'll see our contact information. I'm happy to help you in any way that I can. Hang on to these numbers and addresses, and please reach out if you have any questions. Thank you so much for your time. I hope to see you all on the move.
Yeah, great. Thank you so much, Lily. And we have a couple of closeout items, and then I think just maybe a couple questions that we had from the chat, if I could share those.
Sure.
I know you shared about the People Mover at LAX. Is there an estimated open time or I guess anticipated open time for that?
So that is, they're currently testing that. It is being tested by the airport. Once it is passed over to Metro, we will do additional testing as well. So it's, I would say this year before the end of the year.
And maybe we can all stay connected with you all to see if there are any
Yes.
updates and all that.
Yes.
And then I think we had one last question about the security or like the safety measures. Are they present? Are those, different ambassadors and folks present at all of the stations or some of the stations?
You saw all the stations we have. Unfortunately, they can't be at every single station, but they do ride throughout the system. I always encourage people to, as I said, if you're on a bus, sit next to the operator. That's a safe stranger that you can report to. If you're on our trains, you may see them on the trains, on the platforms. All of our trains and platforms have emergency call boxes that allow you to communicate with people if you need help immediately. So keep that in mind. But they're moving throughout the system on the buses and the trains.
Understood. Thank you so much. And we do have one last poll question before our closeout slide. So if anyone has any other questions that they'd like to ask Lily, Zane, anyone at Metro, feel free to unmute and go ahead and type them in the chat. But if you all don't mind answering the post-class poll question, that is exactly what we asked at the beginning of the class. But after this wonderful presentation and sharing of the resources, how confident are you now in your ability to navigate public transportation after hearing from Lily, hearing from Metro? So please take a few moments to just put in your answer here, and it'd be very helpful for us to kind of take away some of these learnings from you all. And again, if you have any questions for Lily while we have Lily and Zane here, please feel free to unmute or type in the chat, and I'll keep this poll open for just a few more moments. Okay, and then Lily, here are the results for the post-class poll. So it looks like we have, a number of people feeling confident or highly confident in some ways. I think we had one highly confident in the beginning. So
Yeah.
Insightful
That's
here.
wonderful. We got rid of the highly unconfident, so I'm happy about that. We helped somebody.
So I have a question. Is there an age minimum that you have to be a volunteer for the On the Movers program? Do you have to be 62 years or older, or can you be younger, or how does that work?
It's ideally we work with folks, I would say 55 and older. The reason we say 62 is that here at Metro, that's when we recognize seniors, and we issue these easy transit passes to people who are 62 and over. But if you are called to be a volunteer and you're an older adult, 55 and up, we're happy to work with folks. We do have some volunteers who are true volunteers in that they don't receive that free easy transit pass. So that's what we base it on. Gail, are you interested in becoming a volunteer?
Go ahead. Yeah, Lily, I attended this On the Move Goers at the Culver City Library about last summer when they came and did a quick presentation. And I was always fascinated with it because I always wondered, like, I would love to take some of my older adults to Little Tokyo. But I would have to know how to take them. And I'm trying to get Victoria.
Come on, Gail. Come on, Victoria.
We're not 62 yet, but we really want to get educated. So when it's time, we will be the passengers and somebody will recruit somebody else. So we want to be prepared because the age, time goes by so fast. And so why not just jump in and get educated? So when we become 62 and over, we'll be the most educated, informed older adults on the MOVE program.
Yes, I think that is so valuable and important. It's important to learn these skills, this information, and practice it, right? Before you need it. Oftentimes when people can't drive or don't want to drive, they feel a little helpless and stranded. What am I going to do? How am I going to get around? So I think you're on the right track, Gail and Victoria. If you're interested in learning more, I'm happy to talk with you, and let's get the folks at your center on the move. That would be wonderful.
Right. Thank you, Lily.
Great. And Alice, I saw that you unmuted if you had a question.
Yeah. Is there assistance with luggage on the shuttle buses to LAX?
No, unfortunately, Alice.
So can we get our luggage on the bus?
You can get your luggage on the bus. You just have to do it on your own. If you were on a bus, you could ask for the ramp to be deployed so that you could roll your bag up. But as far as like carrying it, no. You'd have to have a rolly bag or a backpack of some kind.
Okay. And my other question is, I live close to the Atlantic station. And so if I wanted to like leave my car longer than 3 days, how do I go about doing that? Because I had called one time and no one answered the phone. And can I leave it there for longer than 3 days?
My understanding is that you cannot. You can only leave your car up to 72 hours there. So I wouldn't recommend that. Maybe you can get a ride to the station, Alice, or Uber to the station.
And well, what about Union Station? Is there extended parking there?
I believe there is extended parking here. There is a form that you have to fill out. I've done it myself. We can share that information with Makoto and hopefully he can get that to you.
Okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Great. And again, thank you, Lily. Thank you, Zane, for your extra time. If there are any other questions, you can always reach out to us at Keiro, or you have some of the contact information for Metro folks. So just want to say thank you again. I do want to close out our class today with just a few final announcements that we do have related to some upcoming programs. So here on the screen, you'll see just a few of our upcoming classes starting next Tuesday. We have 2 more classes in this month, and then the week after that, we'll have another class. 2 of them led by our program associate, Brendan Hota. But next week, a week from today, we will have a conversation kitchen talking about some Aze favorites with Philip Hirose of Aze based in Little Tokyo. I think a dish will be prepared as a conversation is had. And then Brendan will be hosting 2 of these programs, the Cerebral Power Hour, Brain Games Edition, and then a conversation starter tool that we have, which is called the Death Deck, where Brendan will be guiding our program attendees through prompted conversations to talk about end-of-life planning or just how we consider end of life. In closing, I also want to promote and share something you already heard about through Lily's promotion of this, but the Keiro no Hi Festival is coming up. We will have presence from Metro and Zane, actually, from Metro at the Keiro no Hi Festival. So if you really valued his resources today, you'll be able to get a chance to connect with Metro and Zane at the festival. It'll be on Saturday, September 13th at the LA Honba Honganji Nishi Temple that Lily guided us to in this class.
Is there still space?
I think our registration is kind of at capacity right now with the wait list underway. But if you are interested, I think please contact our team and we can give you more information about this. If you are already registered too, we look forward to seeing you all there. But registrations were going very quickly this year. The interest was high. And then lastly, I do want to share about the caregiver conference that we have coming up. So this upcoming conference will be on Saturday, October 25th, and it will be at the Gardena Valley Japanese Cultural Institute. Registration just opened on Monday, so if you are, or yesterday, so if you're interested in signing up, space is limited, and we do highly encourage that you are registering soon in order to reserve your spot. And with that, I just want to say thank you all so much again for spending this extra time with us and for joining us. Hope you all feel a little bit more well-resourced to navigate through public transportation. Just want to say thank you for joining today. Thank you to Metro. And really, if you want to support Keiro in other ways, please join our upcoming classes or our upcoming programs and events. We always appreciate the donations and the ways that others have supported us in the past. So we continue to look forward to being a resource for you all, and looking forward to staying connected in the future. So again, thank you, Lily. Thank you, Zane. And thank you all for being here for today. And we'll send the recording out once it is wrapped up.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.